Good morning. Welcome to Monday. It's officially the start of my new series that I'm posting on here and also on like Instagram and TikTok and things. It is called The Rebuild. Long story short, I'm about to start back at the gym and I want to document this whole process of me doing my second postpartum like fitness journey, building strength and muscle and all the rest of it. This is not like a comeback series, anything like that, because quite frankly postpartum you're not actually trying to get back to anyone because that person doesn't exist anymore. So my like mentality and mindset in this postpartum period is so positive and so accepting, if the word might be. I honestly feel so much better this second time round postpartum. I think for many reasons. I had a lot of like issues last time, but like retained placenta for like 9 weeks. I had a severe iron deficiency. I was supposed to get a blood transfusion, all the rest of it, and I had like a really bad tear and also an episiotomy, so there was a lot of things there. Plus it's your first time. Say your first time going through pregnancy and birth and postpartum, it's obviously so like what, you know, that you don't even know how to handle it. Whereas this time round I kind of knew what to expect, and I also thought it was going to be more intense than what it was, because obviously my first time round wasn't as pleasant as I would have liked to have been. So pretty much going into this second chapter of postpartum, I feel so good. Like I feel not that it feels easy or that having a new baby is easy or anything like that. Obviously it is so challenging, but it's, I don't know, I feel like obviously I know what I'm doing this time round, or I feel more confident in what I'm doing this time round. And yeah, I like who I am. So rudely cut off there, but no, I like who I am as a mum. Like I'm just so confident in who I am as a parent, but then also along with that I knew what to expect with breastfeeding. Not that it's the same both times, but I've been very lucky to have two good experiences with it. I have had mastitis, but other than that I haven't really had any like struggles with like Freddie or Blake actually feeding, so I'm very lucky there. But actually what it's coming down to, the point of this is obviously the first time you have a baby and your body is just a complete alien to what it normally looks like, and you're just like, what the hell, how am I ever going to feel like myself again? Once you've kind of gotten through that once, doing it a second time, you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like I know that when I put in the effort and I, you know, eat properly and I train properly and give it time and treat my body well, that I will absolutely feel strong and fit and healthy again. So I have no body struggles, if I want to say right now. Now obviously everybody's journey is different and your postpartum body is going to look different from everybody else's. So I'm not saying I absolutely love the way I look right now, absolutely not. Like it's definitely not how I usually look. I definitely feel, I don't necessarily look out of shape for an average person's opinion, but I feel out of shape because I don't feel strong, I don't feel fit, my muscles feel like so flat. I've obviously lost a bit of muscle mass and I do obviously have a bit more body fat than I normally would carry, which I'm not overly fussed about the body fat right now because I am breastfeeding, and obviously your body needs a wee bit more extra fat to produce said milk. My goal in life right now over the next at least 6 months, if not longer, is to sustain and grow a whole other human being with my boobies. So as much as obviously I have health and fitness goals, I'm not trying to get like super shredded and super lean right now. I'm going to focus on just being like a strong, fit, healthy version of myself, and whatever that looks like in this phase of life is what it will be. Obviously this time next year we can really go, okay, actually I want to drop more body fat, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. So yeah, this is my series called The Rebuild. I'm going to do weekly videos for the next 12 weeks to make sure that I show you guys. It's not just to document my progress, because obviously I want to document my like journey, my life journey and things like that. But I also want to kind of teach you how to do the same. So I'm not just filming what I'm doing, but I want to give you kind of tips and tricks and how you can also do it as well. And this isn't just for postpartum, you know, it's how to actually live a health and fitness lifestyle, but also make it realistic and sustainable, because we're a mum of two, I'm in my 30s, I run a business, my children are with me 24/7, my business obviously is around 24/7, I am the cook, I am the cleaner, I am the mummy, I am the taxi driver for said children, even though they don't go anywhere because they're with me. I have about 10 jobs. Thus, the gym. I'm going to go over the plan with you after I am finished getting ready, and you can see how I personally am going to fit it into my very hectic schedule. Now obviously everybody is different in terms of what kind of help you have when it comes to children, or if you have a partner, or if you're single, or if your gym's nearby, if your baby sleeps, if they don't sleep. There's so many factors, and I'm well aware of that. I'm obviously just going to share how I organise my life as best as I can. Now don't get me wrong, I am not perfect. My life is not organised well. Actually, my life is organised okay, but there are things that slip. So people will say, oh, you managed to do it all. My clothing pile for the washing is literally the same height as me. My utility room where the clean clothes are, I can't even get in it because the clothes are everywhere. You know, some things slip and that's okay. You've got to just, you know, pick your battles, and if I have a washing pile slightly too high but everything else gets done, that's fine. That's fine. I think I'm going on a bit of a tangent now, so I'm going to finish getting ready, but welcome to what I am dubbing the Rebuild series. My own personal journey to a strong, fit, healthy lifestyle again, which all in all, I'm not actually changing much, because when you get to a point where this is a lifestyle, you carry it through pregnancy, postpartum, pre-baby, post-baby. Like I pretty much do the same stuff, obviously just tweak it here and there depending on the season. So I'm not doing any massive overhaul to my life. Also, what's with the breastfeeding, man? Like the boobs are just, they're so uneven. And that's what I want to teach you, is how you can make it a lifestyle for yourself, so that when you do have different seasons of life, you don't feel like you have to diet, or you're jumping from this to this and blah 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 and doing damage control and all the rest of it. So welcome to the rebuild. That was a long intro. I think my baby is potentially woken up, so I'm going to quickly finish getting ready and go get him. Okay, I want to go over pretty much everything that I'm going to be doing, or that I normally do, that I'm going to implement now, to pretty much get to where I'm trying to get to. So as we discussed, right, this is not a comeback season, this is not a bounce back, this is not a diet. Oh my god, let me emphasise, I am not going to be going on any kind of calorie deficit during this time. Basically, because I am breastfeeding, I have absolutely no desire to cut my calories whatsoever. I never have a desire to cut my calories. I'll be honest, I very rarely, in fact, I don't. I do not ever, what's the word I'm looking for, restrict my calories. Now, I do not also just binge eat out and eat whatever the hell I want in terms of just crap. I think when it comes to actually building a healthy lifestyle, if you can just understand food as fuel and understand what foods work for you and your body, and what food you kind of need to incorporate into your life to actually help you reach your goals, and what food you genuinely like. I saw a TikTok the other day and this woman was like, you do not have to like your food, you are not 5, this is not a birthday party, food does not have to taste good. That is a lie. Your food does have to taste good, you have to enjoy it, but you know, you want to make healthy choices and make sure that you're living like a healthy life. So pretty much what I am going to show you is how I hit my protein goal. Now, when I say my protein goal, so I don't actually track my calories and I don't track my protein and all the rest of it. I just know from previously tracking roughly what I would put on a plate to make up my desired protein intake. But I did do a fun reel over on Instagram, and that was actually showing you solely how to hit 100 grams of protein just from protein foods. So I'm going to show you how you would take your food of this protein and then like build upon that. So if you are trying to get into a fit, healthy lifestyle, you want to build some muscle and lean out, protein is such a great macronutrient because A, it helps actually rebuild and recover after workouts. B, It's obviously good for your hair, your skin, your nails, all the rest of it. It keeps you full. It bulks out a meal and makes sure you keep full and satisfied, and you're not then like in an hour reaching for something else and reaching for something else. That's why when you find if you eat food that's just like just solely carby or solely fatty, and then you know you realise that you're hungry a wee while later because you're thinking, well, I mean, I've just eaten a pizza for example, but I'm still after something later on. It's because it's not actually satisfying you. So you want to make sure you're eating majority whole foods. You're eating a nice, well-balanced plate that's packed with protein, healthy fats and carbs. I eat all the macros. I do not eat low carb, I do not eat low fat, I don't eat low protein, none of that. I make sure that my plate is well-balanced, and I want to show you how I would do it if I were you, if you do not have a clue how to do it. I'm going to show you how to just like pick your proteins and then how to build them into meals. Really simple and really easy. So we'll get to that this afternoon, but I want to go through, I feel like I'm rambling right now. I should have really thought this through a bit more. Basically, personally, what I am going to do and what I always do, because guys, I do not change what I do through all my seasons of life, okay? What I did 2 years ago, what I did 1 year ago, what I did pregnant, what I do postpartum, and what I'm going to do in a year is going to be exactly the same. Obviously, workouts and things do tweak slightly depending on if you're pregnant and postpartum or whatever. However, the majority rules apply year round. This is why I will never diet. I will never ever restrict my calories. I will never diet for summer. I might like dial it in terms of, might say, okay, I'm going to really like go for it in the gym. I want to make sure I'm really dialed in and locking in my workouts and training the way I'm supposed to be, because there will be times where you're just kind of going through the motions a wee bit, and then you kind of have to snap out of it and go, okay, we're not optimizing our training here. Or there might be like a whole week where you're like, I actually had like 2 takeaways this week, or I actually had, you know, dessert every single night and I feel a bit bleh. That's when we might like make small tweaks and things. But I'm never going to say, like for example, this series is going to be 12 weeks long. It is not a diet. It's not me saying I want to see how much weight I can lose or anything like that. My goal is to just get right back into my lifestyle that works for me year round, and see how much that changes my postpartum body in 12 weeks, whilst teaching you how you can implement these things to also have a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. That is the plan. I'm not trying to lose weight. Yes, I want to lean out a bit, but like I said, I'm also breastfeeding, so I'm not trying to get like my usual level of lean. We'll just see what kind of happens there. But obviously I do want to try and build some muscle mass. Again, quite hard to do when you're breastfeeding because all your nutrients are leaving your body. However, here's what we're going to do. Steph, shut up rambling. I'm going to go through all my nutrition with you and what I'm going to personally do. And then I'm going to talk through my workouts as well. Maybe we'll just make this video about nutrition. I think we will, and the next one can be about workouts, because I want to break this series up and make sure that you guys know how you can do this too. So this video will, do you know what, it'll be all about nutrition and how I'm going to do it too, because nutrition, by the way, is number one. It is number one. So let's actually break this down. I'm going to change scenes a wee bit because this has been 5 minutes of me rambling again, and I want you to be locked in and listen to this info. Right, nutrition wise, I have started being really consistent with a couple of supplements. So there's 2 supplements I take every single day without fail, you know that, and it is my creatine and my protein. I'll get that actually for you right now. I have these every single day, and I have done for like, I don't even know how many years. Years and years and years and years and years. Personally, I use my protein, you know, I've been sponsored by them for like 10 years. Obviously you can do your own research into whatever it is, what brand you want to buy. Personally, they're one of the cheapest and one of the best. I've tried every vegan protein powder on the market, honestly. Back in the day, I went through them all. Sun Warrior, etc. This is the only one. This is the only one that goes in my protein iced coffee. So, you know, for my breakfast in the morning, I normally do a protein iced coffee. It's vanilla protein powder, scoop of creatine, I do vanilla syrup or vanilla drops, espresso powder, and like oat milk or almond milk. That right there gives me like 30 grams of protein straight off the bat. And then I obviously have like my bowl of oats, or I make pancakes or something like that. I either have oats, pancakes or waffles. That is literally my breakfast choices 99% of the time. And my breakfast comes out to about 45 grams of protein. I'm going to delve right into what I'm going to do to break down my actual meals in a day and all the rest of it. But supplement wise, I highly recommend, if you're struggling to hit your protein, and if you are just looking for like 1 or 2 supplements to buy just to have on your like supplement shelf just to add to your nutrition, it would definitely be those two things, because as a vegan or plant-based person, sometimes if you don't like certain foods, it can be a little bit harder to hit your protein. Not impossible by any means whatsoever, and I'm going to show you exactly the foods, like I said, that I eat in a day that make up the protein without even trying, without even having to think about it. However, if you're someone that just thinks, you know what, a wee protein shake a day would be really handy, really convenient, then I highly recommend that one. Supplement wise, what I have also been taking, more so because I am breastfeeding and you know, the hormones aren't quite where they're supposed to be, the postpartum hair loss, all the rest of it. These are the things I'm taking. So number one, I'm taking an iron and folic acid supplement. I did take this throughout pregnancy as well. My midwife actually recommended me that I do that. Vitamin D3. I take this because I live in Scotland and the sun never shines. So these two. I actually have a vegan Omega as well. Wait till I grab that, because for some reason that's not out on my supplement shelf to remind me to take it this morning. These are both by My Protein as well. Well, my vitamins, but it sits under My Protein. And then this one is Hair Burst Healthy Hair for New Mums. It's a vitamin for pregnancy and postpartum to help with the hair. Does it work? I don't know. This isn't sponsored. I literally bought this. I accidentally went on a subscription and paid like £60 a month, 2 months in a row, and I have like 5 bottles of this. So I really hope it does work, because that was upsetting. I hate it when you accidentally sign up to a subscription. I'm going to take this just now. Also, if you're taking like an iron supplement, taking it alongside vitamin C is better for absorption. So I'm going to take these 3 with a glass of orange juice. I've had my breakfast already, but let's take this. So this is how my day's broken down. In the morning, like I always drink water. Water. I had my protein iced coffee and I had my bowl of oats for breakfast. So I've already done that. I should have filmed it, but it's already done. It's the same breakfast I have all the time. If I have another clip of it, I'll kind of overlay it so you can see if you are new here. But then it's 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm on orange juice and supplements. There's no time for me to do this. I just don't have it with my breakfast because caffeine can block iron absorption. So wait a wee hour or 2 or 3, or I don't even know, I don't know. It's 11:11, make a wish everyone, for those of you that are into it. And this will be me till lunch. I don't really have a morning snack. If I have a snack, it tends to be in the afternoon, which I am having right now because, my god, breastfeeding makes me hungry. I'm going to break down the protein sources for you now, and then we're going to talk about how to actually structure your nutrition. Basically what most people are actually trying to do is body recomp, right? For the most part, most people want to lose body fat and build lean muscle mass, and that's called body recomposition. That is you changing the composition of your body. You're not necessarily always trying to lose weight. Some people are, obviously, but I'm not currently trying to lose weight. That's not my goal. I weighed myself the other day actually just to see what I was at. I believe I'm about 58 kilo. I think that's what it said. The number on the scale is irrelevant to me. It is completely and utterly irrelevant. If you're someone that's maybe a lot larger and you have a lot of excess weight and excess body fat, yes, you might want to track your body weight. Or if you're someone that's really underweight and you know that you're trying to reach a kind of healthier target, completely fine. But if you're similar to me where you're just looking to reshape your body and the number on the scale isn't necessarily important, then this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to bring your muscle mass up and your body fat down. Thus, your overall weight might stay the same, or it might slightly go up, or it might slightly go down. I am not fussed about that number. I just want to see strength. I want to see muscle mass. I want to feel fitter in the gym. I know, for example, that I'm going to try and do a pull-up and my body's just going to go PAH! I remember last time postpartum, like I used to be able to buy out like 10 pull-ups and I went to do one, and when I say I didn't even budge, do I want to try and do it on my door right now? I'm not going to pull my door off its hinges. We'll save that for the workout video next week. But yes, my focus is, like I said, building lean muscle and losing some body fat. Thus, body recomposition. Thus, not a diet, not cutting calories, fueling properly and training properly. The fueling properly part is actually easy. The training obviously is where it's going to take some time to build back up to our like usual weights and our usual strength and stuff, but that is fine. But let's get to the part where I was talking about protein. And then I'm going to show you or talk to you about how we're going to actually structure nutrition to make life easier. Okay guys, class is in session. I just did a fun kind of reel and I want to put it on, this is very bright, YouTube too, and it is pretty much to show you how easy and simple nutrition actually is, right? So I demonstrated what 100 grams of protein from solely protein foods looks like in a day of like eating for me, and this is without even adding in all your carbohydrates, your fruits, your vegetables, all the rest, right? This comes to about 960 calories and just short of 100 grams of protein, and this is how you would base your meals to make your nutrition and your life super simple. So for me, I personally like to have oats, as you know, for breakfast. So this is 70 grams of oats, it has about 10 grams of protein, and then I have my protein iced coffee with that. So a protein shake, this is 30 grams of protein powder, which is about 22 grams of protein, I think. So by the time I have that, and then add on any like berries, chia seeds, nut butters, all these other foods, and your almond milks and things like that, before you even add those on, this is just protein foods, but adding all that on is going to obviously add even more protein, obviously in smaller quantities, but it all adds up together, and that is the point that I'm going to try and demonstrate here. A snack, I have been loving like vegan yogurt. This I believe has about 10 to 11 grams of protein in it as well. And then lunch, I'm on the tempeh train right now. This is only 100 grams of tempeh and it has about 22 to 23 grams of protein. And then a block of tofu, this here is 200 grams, and that is about, I can't even remember, I want to say about 25 grams of protein. Whatever the numbers are, I will actually put them on the screen, but all of this is 100 grams of plant-based protein, and it doesn't even look like much food. So for example, what I would do here is bulk out the oats, like I said, add in berries, nut butter, chia seeds, all your almond milk, all that kind of stuff, make up your protein iced coffee, and that's your meal there. Snack, sorry. You know, I would load this with loads of berries, sometimes a bit of chocolate chips, just something to keep you going throughout the afternoon. And then lunchtime, I take my tempeh and I add it to a wrap. Now these are actually protein wraps from Lidl, I think. 10 grams of protein in this wrap as well. So this has already went from 22 grams of protein to 32 grams of protein, just like that. And honestly, all I'm going to do is add in salad and avocado and a bit of sauce. It's really simple, it's really easy. It will take me 5 minutes to get, and by the time you add in the salad and avocado, let's just take it to 35 grams of protein, right, for that meal. Now this is where, so dinner, for example, I normally have rice with it. This rice is only about 4 grams of protein, but it takes this from like 25 to nearly 30 grams of protein, and then I add as much vegetables as I wish. This is the secret, right? This is how to make your diet and your nutrition really simple. Create the base, pick out all your proteins, hit 100 grams. Add in your carbs, like your rice in a wrap. I mean, this is already your carb here. And see the rest? Berries, melons, and vegetables. You can eat as many berries, melons, and vegetables as your heart desires because they're so low in calories. Not that I'm a big, massive calorie counter gal, but if you are someone that needs to really nip it in the bud, this is how you just create the basis of your diet. Unlimited, like berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, what's the other one? Melon, watermelon, honeydew melon, all of that, so low in calories, so high in water and so high in vitamins and minerals. And then vegetables, broccolis, carrots, baby corns, bean sprouts, if you're a fan of mushrooms, you know, like peppers, onions, all of it, pile it into your dinner. Green beans, right now I'm doing Brussels sprouts, green beans and broccoli are like the basis of all the veggies here, and you can literally add in as many as you like. Already we're at 115 grams of protein. We've not even added in the almond milks or the soy milks or the nut butters or the seeds, all the extras that are really going to bulk up your meal. So it's very easy to take this from 115 grams of protein to another, I'd say you could easily add another 10 to 20 grams. You could easily hit 120 to 30 grams of protein without even trying, and this is just as simple as it is. I'm going to make my wrap just now. My baby's just woke up and he's crying, but I just need a visual. Sometimes you just need a visual of what it actually looks like rather than trying to think of all these meals. Strip it back and keep it simple. Right, I hope you found that helpful, the whole breaking down of protein. I'm also going to show you my lunch when I make it, but I have my laptop right here and we are going to go through, right, I must have something with the way my brain works, in that I like lists. I am a visual person and I like to see things written out, so I'm going to go on and create a document of my routine. And I'm going to put it on the screen here as I'm doing it so that you have a visual as well. And just to break things down for you, I was going to crack out a whiteboard and all that, but really, no, I'm not going to do that because, like I said, I'm a visual person. So we have the laptop, okay? We're going to go on here and we're going to make your life easier very, very, very simply. So let me see, I need a little, schedule. Do you ever say a word too many times that you forget how to spell it? Because that just happened to me. Okay, so this is all just about nutrition, right? We're going to talk about workouts and exercise in another video next week. Nutrition wise, this is what I would do just to make your life super simple. I'm literally just going to show you what I do because it makes my life simple. So this will be on the screen here, right? Daily routine. Make a checklist. I like to tick things off. I like to see things and go achieved, 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 achieved. Otherwise, I feel like it doesn't count. So for me, supplements. So for me, wake up, water. Breakfast, and I'm going to do protein and creatine. Aim for 40 grams of protein, right? Then I'm going to make another wee blob for the morning and write supplements, and that is my iron, hair and D3. That is my morning routine schedule for nutrition. Nothing difficult, nothing hard. It's just right there in plain old English for me to see and I can tick it off. Oops. Okay, then when it comes to the afternoon, I do not have time to make long meals, right? I am lucky my baby is still asleep right now, and that Blake is just playing because we have about 10 minutes to crack through this part, not even, before I am required. This is actually something that my friend recommended me, right? It's Shreddy. Why is it anything that Grace Beverly makes? It's just genius. Everything she does is just gold and it's not fair. Anyway, I've only just opened this yesterday and tried it. I don't know if I have a bad batch or something, but to me it smells a bit like egg. Other than that, it's basically, I've seen it all over TikTok, right? I'm not recommending this because I've only literally just started taking it yesterday. But it's like a women's drink helping with, you know, like fertility, testosterone levels, hair, skin, nails, all that kind of stuff. And the only reason I am taking something like this is because A, I'm breastfeeding and obviously hormones are all over the place, but B, I really, if you guys remember, after postpartum last time, my hormones were all unbalanced and I ended up developing this like monthly sickness, and every single month I was violently ill for like a 24-hour period. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't sit, stand, walk, lie, nothing. I was in absolute agonizing stomach pains and throwing up for like 24 hours straight. So I'm just looking for little tips and tricks for women's health. I think she designed this because of her PCOS. I don't have that, but you know, there was something off with my hormones last time, so anything that helps. Again, not recommending it because I've literally just tried it, but I'm putting this in as my like health drink for now. My honest snack at night right now is dark chocolate. It's nothing exciting, and that's what it is. I'm just going to write snack or sweet treat, dark chocolate. Now, why am I writing out specific meals and all the rest of it? It's not that these have to be the meals I stick to every single day, not even kind of, but it's just a visual, more so for me to have a checklist of reminding me to drink water, have your protein and creatine in the morning, and have your handful of supplements a couple of hours after breakfast. Lunchtime, make sure we're doing something simple and easy that we can make in 5 to 10 minutes. Also hits your protein, and again with the snack. And then dinner time, I always have like a tofu based dinner. It's just the easiest thing and I also enjoy it. I'm a creature of habit, guys, right? I very much like to eat similar things over and over again. Not everybody wants to do that, and that's absolutely fine. My app, for example, has hundreds of recipes on there. I make the same like 4 to 5 every single week. Nothing exciting, but if you do need some inspo, that's where to go. And then right now, honestly, like I obviously love sweet treats, I love dessert, I love chocolate. I have bars and bars and bars of like Lindt dark chocolate, Lidl dark chocolate, Tesco ones in my fridge, so that at night time when I'm just like sitting watching a movie or whatever series we're on, I'm like, right, let's get a wee bit of chocolate and we'll sit and watch TV. feed the baby, and that is that. Otherwise, you know, every now and then, I'd probably say like maybe twice a week I get an actual dessert. Krispy Kremes have been calling my name lately. They've got this really good salted caramel donut, but besides the point. So that is just basically like a wee mini checklist to make sure you kind of tick off all the essentials. Basically the protein, the creatine, the supplements is just what I want to make sure that I'm actually ticking off in a day. But I like a run through. I'm going to do the same for my workouts next week. I'm going to do the same for my hair care and my skincare. I like everything written out. Every routine that I do, I like it written out, and I like to just be able to see it, right? Not everybody likes that. If you are trying to change up your nutrition, I want you to just listen to this advice. If you eat mostly whole foods, and I'm saying mostly, right, because 80 to 85% of my food is definitely whole food. The rest of it is bits of, there's maybe like a protein powder, it's maybe a packaged food, like a processed food, or a dessert, or it's like something like this. This is not a whole food, right? You want to make sure that 80% of your diet is made up of real food. That's why I showed you the protein all broken down, because if that's the basis of all your meals, and then like what I said to do, add in your carbohydrates from there, add in your fruit and veg on top of that, and then you've obviously got your wiggle room. Why is it so dark? Your wiggle room for like desserts and snacks and stuff like that. I'm just trying to make your life easier, but I feel like I'm rambling in this video and not doing a very good job of it. Focus on whole foods as much as you can. Follow that protein rule that I showed you earlier, how to build your meals around that, and pick meals that are so simple and so easy to make, right? I'm going to show you how to make my wrap for lunch. I'm actually going to, I think I might swap the tempeh and the tofu around. It doesn't matter. We're going to make a wrap for lunch. It takes 5 to 10 minutes, and you know, it does the job. So whether you work from home, whether you're a mum, whether you're not, whether you go to work, whether you don't work, whether you're a student, whatever it is, nobody wants to spend hours and hours making food, prepping food, cooking food, especially if you're doing it like 3 times a day. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that. Thus, all of my meals, literally 20 minutes max, but breakfast and lunch, 10 minutes, and we're done. It could be 5 if we're in a real pickle and a real push. So I'm going to make lunch now and show you that. But long story short, whole food. Make a bit of a checklist for a couple of wee things. Don't overcomplicate it. Make it simple. Pick a couple of recipes throughout the week you can just make on repeat, and then change that up every couple of weeks. That is the goal, that is the plan for me, is to hit my protein, make sure I'm eating plenty of fruit and veg, and make sure I'm eating enough as well, because like I said, you know it takes 400 calories a day for your brain to function. I'm breastfeeding, I need an extra 300 to 500 calories a day. That's already anywhere between 700 and 1,000 calories that I need baseline, like without my body actually really getting anything from that. Thus, food is fuel, guys. Food is fuel, and I want you guys to really think about that and not be on a calorie restriction for the rest of your life, because it's miserable and it's boring, and food is just not enjoyable when you do that. I want you guys to like really find the food that you love, food that you can stick to, food that makes you feel good, and do it on repeat. And know that, you know, it's it's summer in a couple of weeks, and I look great, I feel great, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm strong. None of this, oh my god, I need to go on a diet as quickly as possible, or for anything, for events or anything like that. This is supposed to be a lifestyle, and I want you to live it too. So with that, let's make lunch. I'm just back from the most glorious, I mean the sun is shining, there's a magpie, sun is shining, but it is still a bit cold. 2 babies in a pram, 40-minute walk, smashing, great time. And Blake's actually due to go down for a nap. He slept the whole way, so he's now awake and on the floor on his mat. I'm going to show you my lunch. So I did say that I would do tempeh in a wrap normally, but the tempeh I've got is actually pre-seasoned and it's sweet chilli. So I'm going to keep that for dinner, because sweet chilli sauce with like loads of vegetables and tempeh and rice sounds wonderful. So I'm going to do a tofu wrap instead. I posted this reel on Instagram and said that I had this whole block of tofu for a meal, right? These are 2 small blocks that make up 1 large block, if that makes sense. Normally if you buy a block of tofu from Tesco and things, it tends to be about 400 grams. Thus I would have half a block, but these are just 2 200-gram ones. So this is only half a block normally, because everyone's like, oh my god, I can eat a full block of tofu. It's not a full block of tofu, it's actually only half. Are you okay down there? Are you on your playmat? Boom, 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 boom. A boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, it's all cute. Let me just show you then. I'm just going to quickly pan fry this. I've got half an avocado. I'm just going to mash that up, bit of lime juice, salt and pepper in the wrap with some salad and probably some salsa. I'm going for that kind of vibe. Done. 10 minutes max and we're going to be done. So tips and tricks, guys. Keep your nutrition as simple as possible. Focus on ingredients first, right? Just forget about macros and stuff for a second and just focus on ingredients. Focus on protein. So for example, whole foods, really simple, really easy. But like I said with the protein, like pick all your proteins out and then build your meals around that, and literally just add in, okay, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, wraps, breads, pastas, rice, noodles, whatever your carbohydrate source is that you want. Some healthy fats, you know, some avocados, some nut butters, and then all the fruit and veg. It genuinely needs to be as simple as that, and you won't have to think twice when you're making food. It's not a case of, oh my god, I need to find a really fancy recipe or make something really exotic. No. Okay, here is the lunch, if you can see it. Literally just mashing up this avocado. I just do half an avocado on the wrap. We'll do salt, pepper and lime. And we've got our salad and a bit of tofu, and honestly, when you've not got all the time in the world, this is perfect. And see, honestly, you could prep things like tofu as well. Like you could literally cook that in advance and it would just be ready. Let me get my bits and bobs. Where's my lime? If you wanted to make this a burrito, like you could add like peppers, onions, that kind of thing. We're rushing today. What are you saying over there? Eh? Bit of pepper. I don't actually like salt. Tofu. Add 2. We do have 2 extra bits, we'll just keep them on the side. What happened? I just opened my jar, that's all. There's no dinosaurs, no. We've got a dinosaur obsessed girl over here. And this is literally it, guys, and a wee bit of tofu on the side that we'll dip in the salsa. What's happened? There's no dinosaurs. Calm down. Everything is dinosaurs, oh my god. Cool, that'll do. Right, I'm just editing this video together for you for tonight, right? Adam got me these chocolates, first off at Christmas I believe, and then he just got me them again for Mother's Day. If you have not tried this brand, he found it, I don't know how he found it, he must have typed in like luxurious vegan chocolate, because you know how it's really hard to get like a good solid box of like this kind of chocolate, not just like random wee dark chocolates, but proper like luxurious, that's the word. This is my nighttime snack lately. I'm having like, they're actually quite sickening because they're so good, if that makes sense. So I'm having like 3 a night. We're about to go and finish off Landman. I don't know if you've watched it, but in the last 2 episodes I have about 3 of these. My little midnight snack, even though it's not midnight. This is how many we have left. Oh, honestly, I'm going to rate them top 3. So this one used to be my favourite kind of chocolate to get out of Thornton's, if anyone remembers that. This is 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and oh, tough choice. Honestly, it might be this one. So good.